Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today's video has me really excited because I'm going to be sharing how to make caramel apples with you guys. These are surprisingly easy to make, but they are so much fun. You can be so creative with the toppings, and it's just such a fun, festive thing to do at this time of the year with a group of friends, or they also make a really great gift. My mom and sister and I used to make these caramel apples every fall, and it just brings back so many warm memories. So let's just get started making them. The first thing you're going to need, obviously, is some caramel. This is a 5-pound loaf of Peter's caramel, which is what the pro candy makers use. It's just a really good quality, delicious tasting caramel. You can use the little caramels that are wrapped in plastic that you find in the candy aisle at the store. Those will work too, but this is just much better. I bought this off Amazon. I will link it in the description box below. This is a 5-pound loaf of caramel, which is quite a lot, but like I said, you can have a caramel apple dipping party with your friends, which is what I'm gonna do with the rest of this. And I think it's just so much fun because everyone can customize their own caramel apple and you come out with amazing professional looking results, and it's just such a fun thing to do. The next thing you're going to need are some apples. Obviously you can use Granny Smith, which are great because they're really tart. I like things on the sweeter side, so I'm using Gala apples, but any kind of apple will do. You will also need some caramel apple sticks. These are wooden bamboo sticks from Michael's, and also from Michael's some candy melts. I have some white candy melts and then also some milk chocolate flavored candy melts, and I'm going to be using both today, but you can buy one or the other. So the first thing we're going to do is take our caramel apple sticks and just poke a hole right into the top of the apple, but you don't want to push the stick all the way down, probably 1 inch to 2 inches, just so that it's really secure into the apple. And if your apple's crooked like this one, just want to make sure that the stick goes straight up and down, regardless of how the apple sits. And I forgot to mention at the beginning, I have already washed and dried my apples. So now I'm going to be melting the caramel. This thing is so big, but it is worth it, guys. Okay, so I'm making 3 caramel apples, so I'm probably going to just cut maybe 1/5 of the caramel. Just like this. Okay, and you want to get a container that is big enough to dip the apples in, but not a ton of space around it, so you don't have to have too much caramel to dip into. So this measuring cup is perfect because I can dip the apples into it easily. So I'm just going to add my caramel, and then I'm going to just put it in the microwave at half power for 1-minute intervals and just keep stirring it until it is nice and pliable to dip the apples into. So I just put it in for 1 minute and it looks like it's almost perfect. So I'm just gonna add it for 30 seconds more at this point. But do you see how it's just kind of like a thick sauce right now? Okay, so now it is perfect. And I hope you guys can see it well enough. But this stuff looks amazing. So I'm just gonna mix it just to make sure the residual heat takes care of any lumps or anything. So I have here a silicone mat lined baking sheet to put the caramel apples on. This will prevent them from sticking, but it's been in the fridge so it's already cooled, and that will just help them set up quicker. I have a silicone mat, but you can use parchment or whatever you have. So now comes the fun part. I'm just going to dip the first caramel apple. I'm not going to go all the way up to the stick. I'm probably going to come, you know, just about 1/2 inch away from it. But I'm going to roll it around in the caramel so that I can get it all over this apple. Then you lift up. Oh, it looks so amazing. I'm just going to let it drip a little bit, not much. And then I'm just going to set it on my parchment like that. Perfect. Now I'm just going to finish the rest of the caramel apples. Oh, this one's kind of big. Okay. That one's not quite as pretty, but it works. And now that those are done, I'm just going to put them in the fridge for 10 minutes. So next we have the toppings, and today I'm going to be crushing some Oreos, some Reese's Pieces, and then also something that I've been craving is salty and sweet together. So I'm going to be also crushing up some pretzels, which I think is going to be amazing. I'm so excited about this one. So I'm just going to take a big Ziploc bag, put in some Oreos. And I'm so tempted to eat these right now. I'm going to seal the bag. And you can use a hammer or a can of food, but what I'm going to use is, this is from one of Marcus's toys, but it's the perfect thing for something like this. You're just going to hammer away. You could also use a food processor, that would work just as well. I think bigger chunks are better with something like this, because I want to see that it is an actual Oreo. Okay, that looks great. Then I'm just going to pour it onto a plate and prepare the next toppings. I bet you could do mini Reese's Pieces whole if you wanted to too. Now that those are all prepared, I'm going to melt my candy melts. You're just going to want to melt them in the microwave, in a microwave safe bowl, for about 30 seconds at a time. And then just like with the caramel, you're going to want to stir it and then put it in for another 30 seconds until it's a really nice dipping consistency, which is runny, but you don't want to overheat it, otherwise it will burn. And I would also recommend using plastic spoons with this because when the chocolate hardens, it's pretty hard to get off those spoons. So now everything comes together. I have my caramel apples, my melted chocolate, and then one of my toppings. These are the pretzels. So I'm just going to take a caramel apple and roll it in the chocolate. This looks so amazing. Let it drip a little bit. And then while the candy is still melted, you're going to want to dip it, the bottom first, and then roll the sides into your coatings. And this looks amazing. Just make sure you get all that chocolate nice and coated. And I'm just gonna stick a couple on, some big pieces on where I want to see them. Oh. Doesn't that look amazing? It looks so good. And then I'm just going to stick it back on that same tray and I'm going to put it in the fridge so that it can set. So one thing I wanted to quickly point out is that if your caramel is a little too runny from being heated too hot, it will drip and make these feet if you don't chill it fast enough. So you can leave it, but just to kind of neaten it up, I'm just going to trim off the bottom and then you can save that caramel for later. And then it's really pliable, so you can even just kind of reshape the bottom if you wanted to. I'm going to roll it again in my chocolate. This is so fun. And I feel like it's fall. Again, I want to leave a little bit of the caramel showing, let it drip a little bit, and then dip it in my candy. And roll it until it's coated. And I'm going to put this one in the fridge too. So the last one is going to go in the white chocolate and the crushed Oreo. As you noticed, I had technical difficulties with this one because the bowl I melted my chocolate in at first was too hot. So this was kind of the guinea pig, but I had more candy melts ready to go. So we're still going to use it. Oh, this one looks so good. Again, I'm just going to add a few big chunks in key places. And pop that one in the fridge as well. So all my caramel apples are done and they look great, but just to embellish them a little bit more, I melted some candy melts in just a regular sandwich bag. And I'm going to just snip a teeny corner off. And on the chocolate ones, I'm going to drizzle the chocolate back and forth like that. Oh my goodness, this looks amazing. I can't wait to try these. Okay, should have still had them on the parchment probably. And then for the Oreo one, I have some melted vanilla melts. And that's it. They're so easy, they're so fun, and they're just so perfect for this time of year. I will put a few different topping ideas in the description box below, and now I'm going to be showing you how to package them if you're giving them as a gift. So from Michael's, I just have these large treat bags. They're perfect size for the caramel apples. And then these are little treat cups. They're really shallow paper trays, which are perfect for this. And from the dollar store, you can get all of this at Michael's, but I got this ribbon from the dollar store, and it's just a really cute pumpkin orange color. And you want to make sure that all of the chocolate has set, otherwise you're going to get your bag dirty. First I'm going to put it into a cup, and then carefully add it to my bag. There we go. And then I'm just going to take the ribbon and cut each end at an angle, and I think I need about 4 or 5 inches. You can cut it longer if you want to tie it in a bow, but I just like to gather it right at the candy stick and then just tie it in a knot. Just like that. And there you go. I will also be putting the steps to making them in the description box below, so you guys can refer to that as well if you need to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to let me know by hitting that like button, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. I hope you guys are all having a great fall, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!